Aside from that, the only other thing that kind of bothered me, it wasn't really a bad thing. It was kind of a nice note. Fireteam Chat, one of my favorite podcasts. It's a Destiny podcast, right? But it was the first podcast I ever really got into. It came out in 2015. I've watched literally every single episode since episode 1, and yesterday was our last episode 300.
Oh, it ended?
Yeah, well, I mean, they said they're going to bring it back every now and then to do like major coverage, but it's not going to be like a weekly show anymore. Like they're done with the whole episode thing, and they had a long run for 300 episodes to carry it off of one game in the industry. Sorry, that's hard work to create interesting conversation for 7 years straight on one game.
Yeah, it is a lot of hard work, actually.
Granted, Destiny is easier than a lot of other games because they just have content coming out every other month, right? But still, it's quite a lot of work, and I commend them for their efforts. They've kept me entertained for many years. They've kept me informed on Destiny, a franchise that I love to this day, despite the fact that I may be tired on it. But it's a little sad that they're going away, but I'm happy to have been part of the journey and to have seen them grow from, their little shoebox setup to like now through home setups and having to do it yourself and get ready to keep the show going.
Well, so I'm sure that with people like them that have managed to build such a successful show off of just that, they probably built a pretty like sizable audience, and they're probably ready to like move on to like other projects that they're probably going to collaborate with each other on eventually too.
I agree. No, I agree. Yeah. I mean, I actually spoke to one of them, fortunately on the Thursday, and I was trying to give a suggestion. I didn't think it was going to make it, but I just wanted to know a little bit more about what he was going to do. He said he's planning to do like his own show and move on his thing. I know that the other people on the panel have their own channels that you can go to, whether it's a Twitch stream or their direct thing. I mean, obviously it won't be the same thing because what a podcast invites is discussion and debate, which is obviously something that we probably won't see on their own streams or personal channels, but it's still great to have been part of the journey, and I was glad for it. So
that's nice, man. That's pretty, I mean, it's kind of sad news because when you really enjoy something, it's kind of sad to see it go. But you and me, since, we've been getting a little bit of practice here and there, also, starting to be creators, I guess that we kind of empathize with them. Like any creator is gonna empathize with other creators a little bit better because once you actually work in a certain industry, you kind of get how things are. So I can only say that while it's sad that people who obviously loved Fireteam Chat, right, like people might feel sad to watch the show come to an end, or at least like slow production by quite a lot. Yeah. But ultimately, if you really like the people behind the show, I think it's a great opportunity to support them on something that they're actually wanting to go ahead and flip to instead.
Of course.
If they want to take their careers in a different direction, and you really enjoyed the creators for who they are, then just support them on their journey. And
I was coming on the show today with a very lighthearted attitude, but when I saw those things, it kind of just brought me down. So I wanted to air those grievances first, and of course, show respect to the people who not only did the show, but also to Alana Pierce, who has to face people like that every day, and not go crazy, right? Because any other person would probably break down and get depressed and all that. She put up with a strong face, and she was able to.
Hey there, guys! Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Co-op Syndicate. Make sure to check out both the Co-op Syndicate main channel and clip channel to get all of our content. If you haven't already, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell as well so that you never miss out on any future episodes. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with your friends and family, or you could also share it on any social media website of your liking. If you guys would prefer to listen to our podcast on the go instead of viewing the full episode on YouTube, consider checking the Co-op Syndicate podcast out at theco-opsyndicate.buzzsprout.com. We host the Co-op Syndicate on Buzzsprout, and it is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or anywhere where you listen to your podcasts. If you'd like to watch us as we record the podcast live, you could actually give us a follow at twitch.tv/Co-op Syndicate. We go live every Thursday and Saturday at 4:30 p.m. If you'd like to support the channel, you could consider subscribing to us with Amazon Prime for free over there. If you'd like to participate in community events and talk to other members of the community, consider joining our Discord, which I will leave the links to in the description down below. If you would like to support the podcast and get rewarded in return, consider pledging to our podcast at patreon.com/Co-op Syndicate, where you can support us at many different levels. There are multiple tiers that offer all sorts of different rewards for the level that you choose to support us at, including Discord privileges, merch, gift cards, and much more. Also, if you would just like the merch directly without pledging to the Patreon, you could buy our merch at merch.streamelements.com/co-op-syndicate. Lastly, if you'd like to keep up with Jordan or I outside of the Co-op Syndicate, you can find us on every social media platform under Michael C. Moore for myself or JG_Mark1 for Jordan. Thank you guys again, and until next time, happy listening.